We're here in Liverpool for a retrospective of my work. It's not a complete kind of catalogue raisonné, it's a selection of things. The earliest picture is 1949, a self-portrait done at Gravesend School of Art. And then it goes into the Royal College of Art. There's a pop room, there's a realist room, and it goes right through to the final group of Marcel Duchamp World Tour pictures, and then into an even more final room, which is kind of the future and the works in progress that will come back to the studio. These are two of the key pictures in the exhibition. This one was from it was the summer of 1955, and at the Royal College of Art, between your second year and third year, you had to do a set subject. So I chose On the Balcony, and then collected as many versions of it as I could. I think there were 26 different versions. So that was painted at the Royal College. And then a little later, in 1961, by then I'd begun to teach. And in the holiday from teaching, starting on the first day of the holiday, I painted this picture, which is called Self-Portrait with Badges, to send to Liverpool, to the John Moores competition. And it went off at the end of the holiday, still wet, tied to the top of a van, I remember. And in fact, that year, it won the prize, the junior prize for painters under 35. So these are both these are both key pictures. The toy shop at the time, I was already collecting, and I realised I'd put together quite a lot of toys, and I think I didn't want to just put them into a drawer, I wanted to present them in some way, and worked out that if I put them into a kind of shop, that would be a way of showing them. Also at the time, it lit up. What happened one night, it was hung in the Tate, and they left it on at night. When they came in the morning, there were 9 little black marks up the wall. The lights had fused, and we'd almost set the Tate on fire. So it's not shown with its lights on anymore. This one depicts, it's called, well, I have to always remember, it's called The Meeting, or Have a Nice Day, Mr. Hockney, and it's based on the Courbet, called Bonjour, Monsieur Courbet, and it's the same situation. I think David becomes Courbet, I become his patron, and Howard becomes my servant, and I've relocated it on Venice Beach. The problem is that what I'm trying to attain isn't possible. I'm trying to attain a realism which it isn't possible to paint. If it's a portrait and I'm painting an eye, I would want to paint every fleck of colour on the eye. I would want to paint every eyelash. I'll never ever paint what I'm aiming to paint, ever, because it's impossible. This brings the exhibition to a conclusion, and it's 5 versions of a series of pictures called Marcel Duchamp's World Tour. Marcel Duchamp made the statement that if an artist, whatever an artist does, it's therefore art. And to define that, he once showed a toilet which he signed Armat and said, and exhibited it, and because he exhibited it, it became art. So this is to thank him for making that statement, which really kind of opened the door to so much art, so much conceptual art. So I've sent him on a perpetual kind of posthumous rock and roll tour forever, like the Flying Dutchman. So he travels around on this tour bus. So in this one, it's called Playing Chess with Tracy, and he's playing chess with Tracy Emin. Presumably he's just made a very clever move and she's looking shocked. But the show ends here, the catalogue ends here, and then you suddenly see from this moment on, and you realise you have to go in here. So what happens is you come round this corner and you don't see anything. And what I did about 2 months ago was went round the studio and just made a selection of things that were in the studio. Some will never be finished, some I'll never work on again. This is almost like a private visit to my studio to see what I'm what I'm working on and what I will be working on. So it's something that most artists wouldn't let you see, and I'm opening myself to criticism. Paintings in an early stage are very uncomfortable and not good paintings, but I think that's part of the process. So in a way, I wanted to say that's complete up to there, and this is the future. And once the show comes back to my studio, this is what I'll be working on.